Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Good morning, CSL Simi Valley. Oh, man, there is so much going on. Now, we had, well, first I want to say, Shanah Tovah, Happy New Year. Yes, let's all have a wonderful, it's a great time. The life was created on this day, if you believe in the Hebrew journey, the Jewish journey, and it works for me. I like having a new year. Every day for me is New Year's Day. I woke up this morning, it's a new day with my mind focused on spirit. We had a field trip last night. Yes. Kudos to everybody who went on a field trip and is here this morning, because we got home at what, 11? We left here, we left here at 4. We got home at 11 because we know how to party. We went to see this play, Trouble the Water. I think we talked about this guy named Robert Small. I talked to Gerald this morning, and he's going to come out and speak with us so we can debrief, decompress, and work through the trauma that this show put some of us through. Because, I mean, it's a beautiful show, but, did they just hang somebody? Whoa! It was some deep stuff. It was some deep, deep stuff about the history of this country, things that we need to know about so that we can, because that's what we do. We examine our beliefs so that we can change them. But if we don't examine them, how are we going to change them? How are we going to heal anything if we don't look at it? And so that's what this was so great. It gave us a chance to look at it. And because some of you didn't get to go, I thought maybe you might like to have a chance to look at it as well. So with that, here we go. Over at the Wheel Gear Theater, in case you were wondering.
We want theater to make you think and to raise questions, but we don't want to tell you what to think. We hope to evoke discussion and conversations and even more questions with you. We hope that you will go out and do some research on your own.
Now, I know they didn't get it all right, and I'm sure at times they took some creative license and liberties in an effort to fill in the blanks.
The privilege of meeting Small's great-great-grandson, Michael Moore in Charleston, and he was able to corroborate a lot of the family story. And to kind of respond to your concern, I knew that I didn't know what I don't know. And so talking to him and to others in the Beaufort area through that community was really important. My hope was, both in the research, was to honor the historical record, but to honor the man and his character, which is extraordinary. And the fact that we don't or didn't know him is a shame. And so I hope that, we may be misrepresenting aspects of the historical experience. I can't possibly know that experience, even with all the research. But I do believe that the more we expose a story, the closer we bring the truth to the surface, and we ask the questions. And I think asking the questions is how we learn the truth, and the truth makes us free, as we...
Ask a question for us.
Okay, I want to address the perceptions people have, or where people are coming from the discussions. can answer this with one way. Do people come up afterwards and say, God, I never knew that, or I thought I look at things differently? Isn't that really?
The short answer is yes.
Of course, that's why we're
Emphatically,
here.
yes. And that's why we're here, and we have to put you out of the theater so that we can get ready for the show. These are my.
I say, my life is a good life. I say, my life is good. Hallelujah. My life is a good life. Hallelujah. My life is good.
Yeah, so that was our experience. And if for those of you that were just kind of catching bits of it, so it was a story of a guy named Robert Smalls, who was born as an enslaved person and worked to grow his own selfhood until he reached a point where he became the captain of a ship, and then he stole that ship and sailed it to the north and turned it over to Abraham Lincoln. And so it's a pretty incredible story, and it's a true story. So it was really awesome to participate in that. So that's some of the stuff that we're doing to do this community thing that we are so much a part of. And we're going to continue with as many events as we can figure out how to do. And if you have some ideas for things to do, please let us know. One of them is going to be next weekend when we go over to the beach for Sand, Surf, and Spirit Service by the Sea, right off the 101 freeway, exit 70. There's the parking garage you're going to look for. We're going to be right here near Lifeguard Station 10. This is the shot from the beach area where we'll be. We'll have the pier in the background, and Sherry and the band will all be out there. And we're going to do surf and sand and have a little spiritual experience down there. And when we planned this, I had no idea what synchronicity is so interesting, because this is Rosh Hashanah. And one of the things that our Jewish fellows do is they go to the water to release things from the previous year so they can have a good new year. So we'll be just a week behind, but that's okay because Christians were behind Jews anyway. So, and we're not Christians, so what does it matter?
No, you're in the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
and
No,
Yom
I
Kippur
get it.
is-
Yom Kippur is the end of the thing, but
Yeah.
yeah. I got that part. I got that
Got
part.
it covered.
So we'll do that, and that'll be a great experience. Now, for those of you who are not interested in going to the beach, if you're like, I don't want all that vitamin D, I get it. So we've already checked the signal. It's quite strong, and we're going to stream the service from the beach. So all of you that are watching in the streaming land, you'll be able to see us down there at the beach as well, because Gregori has decided that he's going to take his camera crew and set up down there at the beach.
Wow.
So this is going to be a big production, right? So these are some of the things we're doing. We're looking at creating sound baths and all kinds of good stuff. And before yes. Oh, thank you. That's right. Bring your chairs. If you get just keep your eyes on the e-blast, and there'll be a detailed e-blast, or at least maybe it'll be a breeze email to you this week with all of the things that you need to know, because they don't tell me everything that you guys need to know. They don't even tell me everything I need to know. But we will know it all in time to be there for the
And if you
morning
need a ride,
service.
we're also organizing some carpooling.
We're going to do some carpooling too? Beautiful. Yeah. I'll leave, you guys, we're cats. Herd yourselves. It'll be fine. It'll be wonderful. All righty. So that brings us to what we're all about. Are you feeling what we're all about? Are you feeling this energy? Right? Yeah. So let's live this energy right here out loud. Here it goes. Say it as if there's 100 people in the room. Here we go. Ready? We're community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God in gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's who we are. That's why we're here. And here's what we do. I turn it over to you, John.
Okay, join me in an opening treatment. This is what I know. There is one universal power, one infinite source, one divine intelligence, in, through, and as each one here. Each one with their unique gift coming to this service. And therefore this service is blessed. Blessed by the connection of people, blessed by the social interaction, blessed by the music, blessed by the words spoken. And at this time of year when the days and the nights are balanced, I take that as an invitation to rebalance our own lives. And from that balance, we are truly blessed, as is this service, which is already perfect. And I release my word with great gratitude as we say together, and so it is.
Yeah. Why don't you stand up and join us in our congregational song? How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet Spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today? How can I serve today? Who needs my love today? Who needs my love today? Sweet Spirit.
Ah, John, this is where we have the Cosmic Kids come up.
I never got to do this before.
Well, this is a wonderful thing we get to do because what we hold is the intention for the growth of our Cosmic Kid program. We've got these wonderful guardians of the Cosmic Kid galaxy that are excited to teach our kids. And we have one of our Cosmic Kids today who we are dubbing today Adult, boom, Luke, who's going to stay with Mom today. But I just want to have that space. He's so shy. Want to have that space to know that our youth program grows the way our congregation is continuing to grow, and so it is.
He can be prac next week.
He could be prac next week?
Yeah.
Look out. Her, Lisa's daughter, on the way. She's going to do meditation, and she's going to do the affirmation and stuff for us in the months ahead, so absolutely happening. You've already made it so. What an incredible
so it is.
practitioner. All right. Thank you, John.
Okay, time for the affirmation. I'll read it once, and then I'll invite you to read it with me. I co-create my good by keeping my thoughts focused on the idea of faith, the expectancy of good, and the realization of plenty. Together? I co-create my good by keeping my thoughts focused on the idea of faith, the expectancy of good, and the realization of plenty. So my reading today I'm taking from the Science of Mind textbook. I thought I'd pick a chapter at random. The random one I picked was how to use it. Okay. So here we go. One of the great difficulties in the new order of thought is that we are likely to indulge in too much theory and too little practice. As a matter of fact, we only know as much as we can prove by actual demonstration. That which we cannot prove may or may not be true, but that which we can prove certainly must be and is the truth. It is easy enough to rush about shouting that there is no sick people, but this will never heal those who appear to be sick. It is easy to proclaim that there are no needy. Anyone can say this, whether they be wise or otherwise. If we are to prove such statements to be facts in our experience, we shall be compelled to do more than announce a principle, no matter how true it may be. There is no doubt about the immutability and the availability of the law. The law is infinite. It is right where we happen to be at any given time. It occupies all space and fills every form with differentiations of itself. The law also flows through us because it flows through everything, and since we exist, it must be in and through us. This is the crux of the whole matter. Infinite and immutable as the law is, ever present and available as it must be, the potential possibility of all human probability, it must flow through us in order to manifest for us. It has been proved by thinking correctly and by conscious mental use of the law of mind, we can cause it to do definite things for us, through us. By conscious thinking, we give conscious direction to it, and consciously or unconsciously, responds to our advance along the line of conscious or subjective direction. It must and will respond to everyone, because it is the law, and the law is no respecter of persons. We are surrounded by an intelligent force and a substance form from which all things come, the ultimate essence in the invisible subjective world of all visible and objective forms and conditions. It is around us in its original state, ready and willing to take form through the impulse of our creative belief. It works for us by flowing through us. This law we did not create. This law we cannot change. We can use it correctly only as we understand and use it according to its nature. Thank you.
Thanks, John. That was beautiful. Our musical inspiration today is Vito Gregori and Kimberly Haynes. Give them a see me welcome.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to be back. It's been a very long time. And so thank you, Reverend Stephen and Sherry, for having Vito and I here today. I was contemplating the topic, this affirmation, and the difference between belief and faith. And I happened to come across a little TikTok thing, but gosh, social media is so
It's all God.
bringing it to us every moment. So he, Deepak Chopra put a little TikTok thing up about, and he said that, interestingly, he said beliefs are a cover-up for insecurity. And he also said that faith is an intimate connection to the invisible within us that makes the visible possible, and that faith is trusting in the unknown to unfold spontaneously in the ever-present now moment. I thought that was a very beautiful way to explain the difference between belief and faith, and it's right in accordance with what you were talking about just a moment ago about questioning every belief that we have, and that if we have the courage to do that, we have the possibility to find faith and freedom. So, nonetheless, this song is called I Believe I Can Fly. I don't know how far that belief is going to take me, but I'm going to sing the song like I believe it. All right. I used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an awful song. But now I know the meaning of a true love. I'm kneeling on the everlasting arm. That's so sweet. Thank you. Pleasure. We'll be back soon. Thank you, Vito. I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce my wonderful partner here, Vito Gregori on guitar.
Thank you, Kimberly and Vito. It's that time again when I get to ring the gong. No. God awareness place, the gap. 3 minutes of silent meditation. And I do get to ring the gong. So, and then Sherry will bring us out after 3 minutes with the musical. So I invite you to develop your own personal meditation practice. Namaste.
So this song is called How We Love, and it was written by Beth Nielsen Chapman, a hero of mine, amazing songwriter. And this song has meant so much to me through the years, and particularly spoke deeply to me because my late husband, was very ill for many years and died 2.5 years ago. And was my greatest teacher in that whole experience, and really taught me how to love, and that every day you get a new chance to start over and love better than you did yesterday. Life has taught me this. Every day is new, and if anything is true, all that matters when we're through is how we love. Amen. Faced with what we lack, some things fall apart, but from the ashes, new dreams start. All that matters to the heart is how we love. How we love. Sometimes we forget, trying to be so strong in this world of right and wrong. All that matters when we're gone, all that mattered all along.
Beautiful, beautiful. Kimberly Haynes, Vito Gregori, beautiful. Oh, that was lovely. You say she's an amazing songwriter. You're an amazing singer, so it goes together. And Vito, electric pianos, I don't play the piano, but the mind says electric piano must be hard to play it soft. You had this touch. It was just sweet. Sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. How we love. How we use it. How we love is how we use it. The divine, huh? What a coincidence. I know. We're like a theme, you and I. Boom, 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 right? I was thinking what came to me in the middle of there was a subplot in the play last night. Because they also talked about, the daughter of the slave owner was struggling with her own selfhood and her own personhood and who she wanted to be. That was the undercurrent that was going. Also, it was beginning of the women's suffragette movement at the same time that we had the abolitionist movement taking place. And all this came to me as I was listening to John read that beautiful Holmes passage. But Dr. Holmes loves his words, right? And so I was thinking, I need to kind of unpack that a little bit. But is that mansplaining? But can a man mansplain a man? Boing! So, yeah, because, mansplaining and the women's suffrage. Are you making the tie-in here between that, right? Yeah. Woo! How am I going to use this stuff? Tell you what. Don't stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning when you have to talk at 9:30 in the morning the next day. But I tell you one thing about how to use it. One of the things that's come to me about how to use it is you got to own it. You got to own it. So we've been talking about this thing itself all month long. The thing itself is all of us. We are the thing itself expressed, right? And we are what it does. We are what the thing itself does is it creates. It creates. And the way it creates is through our beliefs. And so how do we use this thing? It happens when we own the power to create from our own beliefs, faiths, and understanding of this thing called life. But we must own it. It's kind of like my teacher, Linda McNamara. She told me when you go to speak at another center, you must own the stage, own the platform, walk across that thing like it's yours. And the place where I stand, the place where you stand, is holy ground. It belongs to you. Own the place where you stand. See, we've been checking out this story for the last month. What we've been doing is we've been reading the fine print of our contract on life. Many of us own stuff and we never read the fine print. Or maybe you did. I don't. Until I call customer service and they go, "Oh, you didn't read the fine print, did you?" No! But we have really dived into the instructions this month. Or did we dove into the instructions this month? Come on, Papa, my grammarian. Anyway, we have really dropped down into... There's always another word somewhere, We have driven into these instructions. That's true. Boom, right in the head, And as John was saying in the thing, it's the way to use them is not to run around and saying there are no sick people. It's not the way to run around and say there is no poverty in the world. We see that. If we see it, we must believe it's there. But it doesn't mean it has to be there, because we live in an infinite space and presence that has the understanding available to us, through us, to change the conditions that we do not like, that we do not see. Okay? So we don't have to stick with the sickness. We don't have to stick with the neediness. We can do something about it. And that's because we have this thing that we can use. See, metaphysical laws have a little bit of a challenge. The physical laws of the universe, they actually work. This is a brand new mic, so I'm not going to drop this mic, but I'll just drop a piece of paper. If I let it go, what's going to happen? Right? It's going to go down. Even with the fan blowing, it takes time, but it's going to go down. That's gravity. These physical laws, we understand that. But these metaphysical laws, hold on, I'm going to pick this up because I am just the kind of person to step on it and go banana peeling across the stage. These physical laws we understand, but the metaphysical laws, they're so intangible. You tell people there's a law of attraction, and they go, "You mean magnetics?" No, I'm talking about thoughts becoming things. We understand that as metaphysicians, but unless we use what we understand, we can never prove what we understand to be the reality. Therefore, we can never take the intangible and make the intangible tangible. But we have the ability to do that. So that's our practice. That's what we get to do. And that happens when we own it, when we own how we are able to use it. See, the necessary actions of the law is to begin to understand the law first. understanding that it passes through our mind, through our consciousness. And to make use of this, we must get the correct understanding. The correct understanding. If I were to ask you, what is half of 8, what are you going to say? What if I say it's 0? Or what if I say it's 3? You see, if you take 8 and slice it in half, there's a 3. If you take 8 and slice it in half, there's a 0. Right? So maybe it's about understanding the question. Do we understand the question? That's why we must understand and dive into our beliefs. We must examine our beliefs so we can understand the question that we are asking of the divine law, so that when we move ourselves into the use pattern, when we decide how we're going to use it, we know we're using it in the right way. So that we don't come up with 4 when I'm actually asking you to split the vision of what 8 looks like into 0s and 0s, or 3s and 3s, or backwards 3, of course. It's kind of like Lily Tomlin says. I love this. She says, I always wanted to be somebody, but now I realize I should have been more specific. Right? How many of us have got that down? Right? We live that experience. You're like, I'm listening to Reverend Stephen. I had a treatment with John last week. The week before that, I had a treatment with Reverend Nancy, and my life is still not working. What's happening? Maybe I wasn't specific enough, but not too specific. Now, this is the thing about the metaphysical laws. We don't want to get too specific, because we got to remember that we're working from our own limited understanding. But there is something larger than us that truly understands. So that's why we go next after the belief and understanding into the faith, the invisible part, the feeling part. See, when you have faith in something, it feels right here. When you believe in something, it's happening right here. We need to move from here down into here, and that's when the universe goes, oh yeah, that's specific. I can get behind the feeling. They don't understand that what they're asking for is not more money. They're asking for more security. So let me give them the experience of security in their life. And that's when you open up the mail, and the great-granduncle that you never knew that had stock in oil wells in North Dakota died and left it all to you. Whoa, security. Don't even need a new job. I just walk in. I quit. Bing. You know, that's how it happens sometimes when you go into the specifics of feeling, the specifics of faith, the specifics of getting right where you want to be. It's about checking the beliefs. Because yes, we are talking about infinite intelligence. That's so sweet. Yes, we are talking about the thing that knows all, that can make all. Yes, that's true. But here's the other thing. It can only happen as we believe. As we believe. That's the caveat. George Carlin lays the caveat out so well. I think he says something like, if you plan to fail and you succeed, what have you done? Right? See, the way the law works, it's very interesting. As John was saying a minute ago, it's impersonal. It is no respecter of persons. Doesn't mean that the law doesn't respect you. The law actually respects you so much that it does not respect what you think. It just goes with what you think. It just goes with it. So if you think that the law is not working, you're right. It's not going to work, because the principle responds to you as you believe, you see. This is why we must, the principle abides in whatever level you're believing in. So we must continue to affirm a positive attitude and stay stable in that understanding. Not be wishy-washy. You can't be wishy-washy with the law. Because if you're wishy-washy with the law, then you end up like this egg. You don't want to be that way. We got to get specific with it. Because in the Living of the Science of Mind, Dr. Holmes writes, it says, whatever God you believe in, provided you believe this God is already in you, must respond to you at the level of your belief. Whatever God you believe in, right? Provided you believe this God is already in you, okay? Now that's a big thing. Knowing that we are a part of it and really getting that part. It's not out there. You know, well, it is out there, but it's also in here. That's how big it is. It's so big, I can't even talk about it. Shh. I'm not talking about it. But it's big. It's real big, right? So then it responds at the level of my belief, my container. I didn't plan to talk about this, but I'm thinking about my friend Erica. I told you about the big bowl story, right? To go into the Mongolian barbecue. And my friend Erica, who was just so disappointed that every time she went to Mongolian barbecue, and have you all been to a Mongolian barbecue place? You know what happens. You fill up the bowl, and then the chef cooks it, and then he gives you back a bowl that's like half the size of what you filled up. And it's like bargain food, so you think, right? Well, Erica fixed that. She takes God rest her soul. She took romaine lettuce and lifted up her bowl. She made her bowl bigger so that when they cooked it, it was like a heap. I was with her one time. I was like, how'd you get so much? She said, I put the romaine lettuce around the outside, made my bowl bigger. That's a spiritual principle. This is about that metaphysics, turning the intangible into the tangible. She created a bigger bowl. We must create bigger bowls for our lives, and then our level of belief lifts, and then our expansion in life is bigger, and our lives are huge. And somebody goes, man, what you using? You can tell them I'm using romaine lettuce, right? See, our goal, what we're really shooting for, and I think the reason we keep coming back here, I hope the reason you keep coming back here, and please do keep coming back because I love you guys. Our goal is that we need to get to the place where we can believe what we believe when all souls are denying it. When everybody around you is saying, nah, dude, you pie in the sky. That ain't happening. And you're going, whatever. You can say whatever because, right? You can just, in your mind, you know. In the mind, you know you're living a big, bold experience. In your mind, you know that you're making something incredible happening to you no matter what other people are saying around you. Because you practice. You practice. We're like the guy in the pilot that's going to the training, right? And they're at the airport. What are they doing? They touch and go, touch and go. They land, they get up, they fly around, they land, they get up, they fly around, they land, they get up, they fly around. What's he doing? He's practicing so he can learn how to land that plane before you have to get in the plane with him. And right? Thank you. I'm so happy. You keep doing touch and go as much as you want. Because when I go up with you, I want to come down the way you're supposed to come down. Right? Touch and go. That's what we do. We learn to strengthen our faith and belief system so that we can use this stuff. How to use it? You use it with the confidence of a Jesus. You know? He didn't walk up to the guy and say, dude, you know, if you feel like it, I think maybe you could pick up your blanket and walk. No, he said, get up. Grab your blanket and walk. Boom. Gone. He's walking, you know? You want to see? Put that mud on your eyes and you can see. Then he told another guy, just get up and you can see. Just open your eyes, you can see. That's what started the denominations. The two guys met and they said, weren't you blind? I was blind. I put mud on my eyes. And another guy said, no, he just told me to stand up. And that's it. Christians split. They were like, I do it this way. You do it that way. That was supposed to be a joke. Forget it. Potato. Yeah. But you know, when we have that kind of confidence, where we can know that the stuff we're using, when we know how to use it, and we can use it from that level of faith and belief, something amazing starts to happen in our lives. We start to live with a higher level of confidence. And so we're not shaken by the comings and goings that are happening in our lives. We know how to love. We know how to make it happen. We know how to fly. Right? But we must do it with a determination, like the stone cutter. The stone cutter, he gets that big slab, and nothing happens. And then it cracks open. It wasn't the last one. It was all the touch and goes. It was all the hits. Sometimes we have to treat what we want for over and over again. Treat and treat and treat until you see the results, Dr. Holmes tells us. It's not going to happen always at once, but it will happen with a direct approach, with determination, because the direct approach is the best approach. It is the most effective approach. And we must do that with a clear consciousness. When doubt comes in the way, you say to the doubt, hey, yo, get out. Get out. You say to the doubt, who's your daddy? Right? Who's your daddy? I am. Get out of here, doubt. Done. The faith is mine. I got the faith. You got the faith. That's how this stuff works, you know. That's what Dr. Holmes is calling the scientific way. I don't know if he actually said the who's your daddy part, but I am sure that he did say the get out part. He did say to stand up to the doubt and tell it to get out of my mind. Get out of here. And if so, when you find yourself doing your own personal treatments, because this is what we try to train you to do, and so when you come into the classes, this is what you'll learn to do. When you start doing your own personal treatments, you will do a treatment. I guarantee you it happens all the time. I still have it happen to me. You know, you'll do your treatment, and as soon as you finish your treatment, you're like, but, boom. That means forget treating what I was treating for and treat for the removal of the doubt. Treat for the assurance to know that this stuff works that I'm using. You know? In the Science of Mind, Dr. Holmes gives us a very strong instruction. He says, we work, not with anxiety, but with expectancy. not by coercion, but with conviction, not through compulsion, but in a state of conscious recognition and receptivity. You see those powerful words there? Expectancy, conviction, recognition, I see it, receptivity. I bring it in. I feel it. It's mine. Thank you, that's mine. And just take it from the universe. You use it with power. How do you use it? You use it with power. How do you use it? You use it with ownership. How do you use it? You use it with clear, directed belief systems. Hope's okay. It's better than despair. I'm not down on hope. A little hope's okay. It'll get you there. But really, in truth, hope is just a subtle illusion. It's like it's an unconscious compromise with the universal spirit. It's saying it almost sort of. Hope is another opportunity to go back and say, get out, hope. I got assurance. I want consciousness, you know. And the other thing is to let go of any anxious thoughts. When anxiety comes up, when you have an anxious thought about it, it's unnecessary. It's actually counterproductive to the workings of the law. And those are going to happen. We're living in Humanville. Stuff's going to be anxious. We're going to think, oh, I need to have this happening right on time. Well, you know what? Here's news. There's only now. So even if you said to happen right on time, whenever it's going to happen in now time. There's only the now time. So just don't worry about it so much. You got to just stick with it. Stick with the practice. Be deep in your conviction. Know who you are. Know who you are. You know, when the Buffalo Cowboys, there was a whole bunch of cowboys in the West that don't get a lot of talk. They were African-American cowboys, and they were amazing at breaking horses. But sometimes they had a horse they couldn't break. So what they would do is they would tie the wild, crazy horse to a burro and let him go. The burro knew its way home, right? They just let him go. And here's the wild, crazy horse. Wah! And the burro's like, he's not moving. You know how donkeys are. They ain't going nowhere. And the horse is like, and the burro's like, dude. And eventually the horse is like, oh. And brother, you ready? And takes him back. You know? Then the ranch owner's saying, man, you're amazing at busting horses. And the guy's going, yeah, I am. It was the burro that did it all along. See, we got to be burros for our own freak out moments, you know? And we got that. We got that in us. We got that. That's the thing itself. The thing itself was within each and every one of us, and it allows us. That's the burro. That's the assuredness. That's the Jesus. That's the Christ consciousness. That's the Buddha. That's all those guys. Lao Tzu, all of them. Mother Teresa and the guy on the corner who looks like a wino but really is wise. It's all those guys. They got that stuff in them, and we have that in us as well. We have that in us as well. You see, we're talking about trained thought over untrained crazy thoughts. Trained thought. Now, after I tell you all this stuff, this is something really interesting. Here's the fine print. Fine print. This is making us all become conscious thinkers. Now, once we become conscious thinkers, we must be very careful because now all of our thoughts become a little more directive. All of our thoughts become a little more purposive because we're working from a state of awareness. Awareness. So we must be very careful. As Dr. Holmes tells us, the more power one gives to his thought, the more completely he believes that his thought has power, the more power it will have. You see? So once we begin this journey, all of our thoughts are going to have more power. We've just we've done, boom, take it up a notch. We've done that with all of our powers. So we must be a little more diligent. This is why we keep talking about change your beliefs, change your life. Examine your beliefs. Remove the belief from the believer. Separate these things so that we can have a unitive experience. It's so paradoxical, this journey. Here we are talking about having a unitive experience, but in order to have it, I must separate from something. It's like, this is why we need to practice this on a daily basis and always keep the end in mind. Always keep the end in mind, because as we heard in the reading from John, the Spirit flows through us. There's no pushing, there's no driving. It's about accepting and believing. We cannot force any of this stuff to happen. The forcing is another form of doubt. It's another form of the subtle illusion. It's another form of hope. I hope it'll work. I'm going to have to, and if you're in that space, that's anxiety. Let that go. Let that go and just know it's here. It's here and it's happening now. It's happening because I believe and I accept. Ella Wilcox, wonderful poet, she says, no choice, no destiny, no fate can circumvent or hinder or control the resolve of the determined soul. We are the determined souls. None of that stuff can get in the way. You know, the seed, right there in the seed, is already the plant. It's all there. So every idea you have has the form that is unfolding in your life. It's all there. So all those other things, the doubt, the anxiety, the lack of expectancy, the trying to make it happen, the coercion, all that stuff, that's just getting in the way. Those are just weeds. But we need to pour fertilizer on it. And the fertilizer is our directed, focused, conscious thoughts. It's our burrow energy, you see. Thomas Troward, one of the most amazing metaphysicians who needs a lot of mansplaining, says that if the end is already secured, which it is, seed, plant, ideas there, if the end is already secured, then it follows that all the steps leading to it are secured also. Now, that for me is a very relieving idea, because sometimes after the treatment, something really weird happens. And I go, this does not feel like the direction I want to take. It's like when you're following Waze, and you're like, turn left here? Right? No. But you do it, and you get there faster. Right? We have a universal Waze within us. We must trust it. You know, we must trust that. So, when it comes down to it, the biggest answer to the question, how to use it, is to kiss it. Kiss it. Keep it spiritually simple. Keep it spiritually simple. And that is how to use it. And so it is. Let's go. Here we are. You ready? I co-create my good by keeping my thoughts focused on the idea of faith, the expectancy of good, and the realization of plenty. Make it happen that way, just that way. Ah, my goodness. Time for our revealing prayer. That moment of knowing the truth, of allowing something magnificent to unfold. We've seen what the thing is. We know the way it works. We know what it does, and now we know how to use it. Let's use it right now. In this collective consciousness, as we rise up in this understanding of conscious thinkers, aware of our beliefs, knowing what needs to be changed, what needs to be released, and what needs to be accepted. In this moment, we accept the power and the presence of the divine unfolding as our good, as our purpose, as our direction, showing up as right action, harmony, well-being, healing for any apparent malady, the removal of any lack idea so that we can live in the infinite abundance of this universe that's always available for us and bringing our good to us. We open ourselves up to a place of pure reception. And in that moment, it feels so good because the stuff we use, we just cannot lose. It is from this place of pure understanding of the way it works and knowing how we can use it, I allow this thing itself to unfold in each and every one of our lives in the most perfect and right way that brings us that space of pure satisfaction. The law has it. We are done. And so it is. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Oh, here's some of the ways you can give to our spiritual community. You see them on the screen. You know what they are. Use that stuff. It's really great. And you know what? We had this week we got our quarterly Facebook download or whatever, $1,400 from a couple of people. I think it was maybe two or three people. It wasn't even that many people that did the birthday thing. So when you do your birthday thing, or maybe, how about this? As we go toward the holidays, who needs more stuff? I don't want any more stuff. My holiday this year, I'm putting it on my Facebook. Anybody want to give me something? Give me $100 to the Center for Spiritual Living. If we all do that for our holiday giving this year, imagine what we can do at the end of the year. I would like to see us put $50,000 in our bank account or whatever by the end of the year. And why should it have to come out of our pockets? We have all these people that love us, and what we do, let them love us that way. Just a thought. Just a thought. So as you're thinking about that, let's affirm it together as we... Oh, wait, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about here. Hold on. I'm supposed to look at this. Oh, yeah. Another way to give is sweat equity. The street fair is coming up on what date is it? October 29. October 29. So we're looking for people to volunteer to help person the street fair booth, and also to help set up and break down. And if you'd like to participate in working on the street fair, another way to give to the center, there she is back there, Danny. She's got the bullseye. Bing! Ask her about it. She'll help you get signed up and give you a job. All right? So now, we're affirming for our sweet equity, we're affirming for our giving, we're letting people support us, and we're supporting ourselves and the world as we say these words right here. Here you go. Divine love, it's doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley, and the world now. Divine love is victorious. All right, here are your announcements for the week. There's some good stuff coming up.
So what I see in these baskets is absolutely a demonstration of how to use it. And I see this blessing and accept it, and so it is.
Okay, we got one more, and I understand this is a surprise. Even from me.
Right, so holy ground, I'm going to own the whole stage.
Careful there.
There it is, it's yours.
The whole thing. Okay, so this is beta testing. Anyone here ever been through a dark night of the soul? Yeah. Yeah, it happens. Like during a dark night of the soul, it can be hard to touch faith and gratitude and, you know, the things that are our guiding light, the most of the time. So last year, about this time, I was going through kind of a dark time in my life, but I was, staying active, and I got involved in this songwriting thing with Beth Nielsen Chapman, actually, who wrote How We Love, and I was very excited to learn from her. And so the prompt for the songwriting, it was like a weekend thing, was gratitude, and I was like, oh, please, I cannot do that right now. So I decided I was going to write about something else, and I wasn't going to pay any attention to the prompt. But then I was like, you know what I have to say about gratitude right now. And so, by the way, I light incense. I have crystal bowls. I am both the singer and the person I'm singing about in this song. And if you don't like it, it's his fault, because I wouldn't have sung it to you. I wouldn't have done it. But he says you're going to like it, so we're going to give it a go. You've got a flower in your hair, gratitude list right there, hiding all your negative proclivities. Whatever it takes to keep a smile on your face and keep sharing that toxic positivity. As for me, I like the taste of the bitter pill I'm popping. I'm gonna own the parts of me that no one wants to see. The chorus that you may find shocking. Yeah, I've got some thoughts for you, and I brought a bad attitude. Save me from your insults and your bad platitudes. My inner child has a rebellious side. Brought my guitar along to write a friggin' gratitude song. I've got my frequency tuned to my soul's dark night, and I'm channeling my inner cynic. I'm feeling guided to share that I just don't care. My vibration is in terminal condition. So please don't ask me to look for the lesson. I'm not ready for the blessing in this mess. Just back away slowly so no one gets hurt. I'm not good under stress. Yeah, I've got some thoughts for you, and I brought a bad attitude. Save me from your insults and your begging platitudes. My inner child has a rebellious side. I brought my guitar along. Astral projection, manifestation, quantum integration. Oh, Tony, I know it's not phony. No, I'm totally joking. But I've got some thoughts for you, and I've got a bad attitude. Save me from your insults and your begging platitudes. My inner child is a rebellious side, and I brought my guitar along. Yeah, I've got some thoughts for you, and I've got a bad attitude. Save me from your insults and your begging platitudes. My inner child is a rebellious side, and I brought my guitar along to write your friggin' gratitude song.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
You know, you got a nasty attitude. You got a nasty attitude.
I know.
Yeah, it's filled with gratitude.
I've been told.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that song. Oh, I was actually kind of hoping that Vito might be wrong, but he was all right on that one. That is sweet. That is sweet. Oh my God. Oh, speaking of sweet, so part of the Rosh Hashanah tradition is to eat apples with honey. Okay, and the honey thing is very interesting because, well, first off, they didn't have like cane sugar and maple syrup. This was the sugaring process, right? Was honey. But the other thing about honey is they're from bees. Bees can sting you before the sweet. Sometimes life can sting you before the sweets, right? So that's really cool about that. And then so out there in the sanctuary, in the lobby, there's a big bowl of apples and a big old bowl, even bigger bowl of honey. So like, I don't know if there's, well, I think there's enough for everybody. There might be, but if there's not, maybe you should start with like 1 apple per family. And as much honey as you want. And then if there's some left over, take some other. So that's how we're sharing that's how we're participating in the holiday today. I want to thank Deborah and Ron. Deborah's learning the stage stuff. Awesome. And Ron is the teacher, the master stage manager. We've got Costa, Kathy Burt, and I saw somebody else up here with you. And Sanford also working on the service team today. Man, Sanford, thank you so much. Sanford was like a Supreme Court service team person. You know how the Supreme Court is. You're on there for the rest of your life. And he finally, after like, you know, if you see him, he's on his second life. That's why he already left and he came back. And now he's back on the service team again. We're not going to let you go. He's like, what? You told me no. All right. Gregori, thank you so much for working up there in the booth. We really appreciate that. You're by yourself on that. We've got Dee over there on the slide. She's also a fantastic practitioner. Reverend Nancy is a practitioner. She's available. And then John will be underneath the exit sign after service to support you for there. We want to thank the band, Sherry Deeds and Steve Fowler and Randy Jones and John Bellis so much. Big love for the people with a fantastic attitude, a freaking fantastic attitude. We love it with Vito and oh my God,
Kimberly.
My brain just went fart on there. And Kimberly. And Luke, thank you for being your own guardian of the galaxy today. Yeah. All right. You might have seen in the announcements there was something about at Lemon Park coming up. The Boy Scouts do this thing. They do this ride, a big old ride around the valley, and they stop at 12 different stations because they have 12 principles of being a Boy Scout, and one of those principles is being cheerful. And I'm going to speak to them about cheerfulness and related to the Science of Mind principles. It's going to happen at noon over there at Veterans Park at the Lemon Plaza, or the Veterans Plaza at Lemon Park. You guys know where it is, Civic Center Park, whatever. It's right there. So come on out if you wanted to and hear what I get to say to the Boy Scouts, which is so cool. I always wanted to be a Boy Scout, and I get to be an honorary Boy Scout. Super sweet. So come on out for that, all right? That's next Saturday. Oh, right. So talk to Jan after service. She's got an idea. Really, this is your idea. I don't own it. Jan's got an idea because Linda Legman has her studio very close to where we're going to be at the beach. Okay, well, see, that's why she's shouting stuff to me to sell, which is why I'm telling you to talk to her, because she knows the details. So talk to Jan, and she will tell you how you can support Linda Legman and her art after our Sand, Surf, and Spirit experience at the beach next Sunday. All right, so that takes care of all of that. And now let's stand, do our benediction and our closing song. All right, here you go. Are you ready? I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love.
Love be with you, peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in, truth come through you, make it flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again, love be with you, ooh, love be with you, ooh, love be with you, ooh, love be with you. All together, hand in hand, we see the light, take a stand, and we are changing. A whole new life for you and me. Take your path and set it free and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in, truth come through you, make it flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love you.
All right, lots going on. See you next week.
Count it out. I don't remember what day it was, and I didn't notice what time it was. All I know is that I fell in love with you, and if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. Every day's a new day in love with you. With each day comes a new way of loving you. And every time I see your face, my mind starts to wander. And if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. I love you more today than yesterday, but only half as much as tomorrow. Tomorrow's day means springtime's just a day away. And Cupid, we don't need you now, be on your way. And I thank the Lord for love like ours that grows ever stronger. And I always will be true. I know you feel